So when I first took the pedal out of the box, the DRV2, the first thing I noticed was it was light. It's like lighter than the DRV1 by like a lot. I don't have a scale right here to weigh them, but just trust me when I say it's significant. Where the DRV1 here in black is maybe like twice the weight. Actually, I don't know. It's significant. It's got some heft to it. I like it lighter, although this does feel a little bit more heavy duty. I like it a little bit lighter because my board is just getting carried away. It's heavier. I don't mind saving some weight. Second thing I noticed that the DRV2, the white one, is rounded. More so than the DRV1, which, I mean, it's a little bit sharper edges, but it never bothered me. I'm not gonna cut myself on it, but yeah. So other differences, the DRV2 has a back plate screw-on design versus the side-mounted in the DRV1. So I don't know if any of those are gonna deter you or make you decide one or the other. But to me, none of that really matters. So it's roughly the same size. I mean, the DRV2 is slightly bigger, but also more rounded. So let's just chalk it up to roughly the same size. You do have the DRV2 imprinted on the drive section, and the DRV just says DRV. Other differences. That's all I could really tell, honestly, other than the color, which isn't a DRV1 versus DRV2 thing. So I'm gonna plug these in to my DAW directly. I'm gonna avoid the pedal board for now. I might put it in a pedal board context, but I'm just gonna A/B them right next to each other. So let's see how it sounds. So I'm going to be running my Telecaster American Vintage 2 thin line into DRV1. DRV1's going into the DRV2. The DRV2 is going straight into my audio interface, which is the U-Wave Volt 276. That's going straight into my DAW, which is Ableton. And I'm going to be using the Mixwave Benson Chimera amp and the Tallbird reverb from Benson. And I'm also going to do the Germanium boost from Benson. It's a package, so I'll put the stereo and reverb behind. I'm sorry, I'll put the reverb and stereo behind the amp. And yeah, let's hear the clean tone. So right away, it sounds like the DRV1 has higher frequencies at noon, whereas the cut knob seems to be a little bit maybe more useful on the DRV2. It just seems like right away you don't have to like roll it all the way back without like piercing your ears. Like let's see, I had this at 9 o'clock and it sounded the same. So. let's see, more of like a distortion. And then, by the way, this is the volume knob on the far right, if you can't see, cut in the middle, and then like the gain on the far right. So let's see what it's like. And we'll do the same settings, although just, I mean, it's not going to be the same. So to dial in like an actual good, I feel like, sound, you're not going to be in the same place with that cut knob, because I can already tell you there's a lot more to work with on the DRV2 in terms of using that. But let's see how it sounds like. Does it cut through the mix? Okay, so real quick, I feel like at full, you know, DRV maxed out to 10, which I never really have it. I feel like the DRV2 sounds almost more like a fuzz. It gets really woolly, even cut all the way back, where the DRV1 might cut through a little bit more. So maybe at maxed, I might like the sound of the DRV. However, pretty much everywhere else so far, I've been liking the DRV2. And again, I don't really use this maxed, and I might like that fuzz a little bit too, because The Sick As from Bondi Effects sounds a lot like the 1981, just kind of more mid pushed. But this I get almost more like level vibes. They're overdriver kind of like boost to low to medium gain. Using it as like a clean boost, which you can do because it's got like an amazing op amp in there. I think anywhere after 2 p.m. on the volume knob, it kicks in. Could be wrong, but I do think that to no to lower to mid gains to even like high gain, pretty much everything other than maxed out, I like the DRV2 sound better. And then with pretty much if I was just gonna dime it, then maybe I would do the 1981 DRV1. But honestly, let me see. Yeah, so um, because the two knobs in the middle aren't the same, it's going to be hard demonstrating them. I feel like you just dial them in how you like them, and I think they're both fantastic. They're the same pedal, just a different, newer iteration of it. So newer, older, and honestly, I'm putting the newer one on the board. Vainly, it matches my level, so I gotta do it. But also, I do like the way it sounds a little bit better. I feel like it can actually use the volume knob higher up to initiate the amp with the preamp without overly distorting the rest of the board, or like I would have to turn the amp down. Everything else, I just feel like, for me personally, I like the newer DRV2, but the DRV1 is a fantastic staple for a reason on a lot of people's boards, and I can only afford to keep one. So selling the DRV1, keeping the DRV2. I'm excited for the DRV3.